Hi Gemini, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your June 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic Crossroads as always, and I also pulled the Four Agreements and Wisdom of the Oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright. So we have Virgo, and Virgo is actually your fourth house of home, roots, and mother. Astrologically speaking, it's a little bit quiet there right now, but could have some focus in that area of life. We also have 5, so fifth house energy for you guys is Libra. We've had the South Node there for quite some time, and fifth house in general points to romance, creativity, children. And we have Pluto. So Pluto is actually in Aquarius, your ninth house of philosophy, higher learning, foreign affairs. It's retrograding there right now, working its way back toward Capricorn, but could have some focus in that area of life as well. All right, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and challenging that, we have the Seven of Wands, which is Leo energy. So really what I'm seeing with these two things could just be saying that maybe you're doing a bit of a cost-benefit analysis, right? Sometimes people tend to do that in general when they come upon a new year, right? Just reflecting back on the year that was, thinking about what they want to do for the year to come. And then with the Seven of Wands challenging that, it could just be saying that, for example, let's say if this is a work environment scenario, which it definitely could be, maybe you're just looking at the cost-benefit of how much work you're putting in, right? Where maybe you feel like a lot of demands are put on your time, on your energy, right? And you might feel like what you're getting in return for it doesn't seem to be worthwhile anymore, right? So it could just be one of those things where maybe your responsibilities within your role have grown a lot more than your pay has, right? Which is a fairly common thing these days, unfortunately. But yeah, that could be what's taking place there. And you could just feel like, okay, you just feel like everyone needs something from you, but as far as what you're getting back in return, you might feel like there's a big imbalance there. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Hangman. So yeah, this is Pisces energy here, at least usually I view it as that, and that's actually 10th house energy for you guys. So you could just be thinking about what you actually want your next steps to be, right? So maybe it's just one of those things where you just feel like you're no longer attached to what you do for a living, let's say, right? Maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, is there something that I might feel like I could align with more on a spiritual, emotional type of level, right? Where I don't feel completely drained from doing what I do on a day-to-day basis. So that could be the kind of dynamics that you're looking into now. All right, in the past position, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is usually an energy that points to independence. This is also a Virgo energy, which we saw come up in the dice as well. So yeah, I could just be saying that maybe for some of you, you might have felt like you had more freedom in the past, right? So maybe when you had that freedom, you might have felt like, okay, you actually felt like there was more growth, more opportunity at that point. And now you might be feeling a little bit more restricted at this point. So that could be what you're looking back on, like, okay, how can I get back to this point? All right, in the present position, we have the Queen of Wands. So yeah, this is actually Aries energy here, and it could just be saying that for some of you, it could be a couple of different reasons, right? So for some of you, maybe it was your own ambition that got a hold of you, and maybe it fueled you to a certain point, but now that you're at that point, you could just be feeling like you're reaching a little bit of a point of burnout, right? Or maybe you got exactly to where you wanted to be, but it wasn't exactly what you thought it would be, right? For some of you, this could also just be saying that you really do want to be there for others and help others too, but you're just looking at it like, okay, at a certain point, if you're burned out, right, then the cost benefit just seems out of whack there. All right, in the near future position, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and of course, you guys will have Jupiter in your sign for more or less the next year. So I could just be saying that maybe there is going to be the spark within you that's going to make you want to take on new things, or be a bit more adventurous. So I feel like it's not so much a matter of whether or not you want to give anymore, but it just could be a matter of, like I said, maybe where you're giving is the issue, right? So like, okay, yes, I would like to still give of myself, but in this particular dynamic, it doesn't seem to be feeding you in the way it did in the past. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Nine of Wands. So some of you might almost feel like you've gone so far down this path, right? So you might feel like, okay, would I be able to start over, right? So it could just be one of those things where that could be part of what's having you feel a little bit stuck right now, right? Where let's say if you are in a place for 9 years, right? Given that we have 9 wands, we'll just use that number. So you've been at a place in 9 years, for example, you're like, okay, well, yeah, I could start somewhere new, right? But at the same time, I built up so much experience here, so you could just be really trying to weigh the pros and cons of what your next move could be. All right, in the environment position, we have the Queen of Cups. So it says that you probably have something, whether it's an innate talent or maybe just something that you've been working on behind the scenes, right? But it looks like you have something that's of great value that could actually give you that return that you're looking for. But for whatever reason, it looks like you're not quite ready to bring that out just yet. Right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Wands. So yeah, again, I feel like this is a similar energy to what I was saying with that Knight of Wands, where I feel like there is this energy within you that does want to spark out on a new path, do something a bit more adventurous, right? Change up the pace, change up the scenery, but at the same time, there's something that seems to be anchoring you to where you're currently at as well. Like if we look at that wand there, it looks like it's anchored to that side of the building. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, to me this says that with this in the outcome position, it looks like you will find something that's going to light that spark in you that will make you want to get back to work, right? But maybe something that you feel a little bit more connected to. For some of you, this could be something that might go way back, given that this is Virgo energy and it came up in your dice as well. And given that that could point to the early years, it could just be something maybe that you did as a child, right? That back then you might have just done it for the joy of it, but now maybe you're looking at a situation where you could possibly turn that into a tangible form of income, for example. So it looks like you figured something out that'll actually light that spark in you to make you want to get back to work toward the end of the month. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Seven of Cups. So this is Scorpio energy here, which is actually sixth house energy, which is another house that could point to work, your daily routines. So yeah, for some of you, it could just be one of those things where you might have so many passions or so many things that you have an ability to do, but you're just like, okay, well, which one would I find most fulfilling, right? All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions, and it says, let your life be transformed. Right? It says, when you stop making assumptions, your word becomes impeccable and your life is completely transformed. Magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. So yeah, that's an interesting message there. So maybe this is pointing to some ways where you might be letting some limiting beliefs, for example, hold you back in a certain way. So it could just be saying, and I feel, again, like I said, having Jupiter move into your sign for more or less the next year definitely give you a bit more of a feeling of optimism and energy to take things on to. So that might be what you need right around this time. All right. From the Wisdom Oracle, we have Go the Distance. There's the artwork, and the number is 47. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says endurance, strength, the long haul. The Oracle's message: to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So yeah, definitely a positive message there. And it does make me think the fact that you guys have Saturn moving through Pisces, and that actually naturally makes a square aspect with whatever your Gemini placement is, whether it's your sun, your moon, your rising, maybe even your Venus, your Mercury, right? And with that type of aspect, you could feel a little bit of a energy of discouragement at some times, and then also, but at the same time, you might feel this nagging sense that you need to do something about it too, but it just might feel a little bit hard in the moment. So maybe that's what some of you are feeling as well. All right, the relationship message says you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So yeah, definitely an interesting message there. I do have to say there really wasn't anything here that hopped out at me like, oh, this is a relationship dynamic that you're experiencing right now. But for those of you looking for some guidance there, hopefully that resonated. And the prosperity message says your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work now can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fires and an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all the phases of manifestation. Be assured that you're in the right place right now. So yeah, definitely a positive message there. So yeah, like I said, maybe between the Saturn transit that we were just talking about, the fact that you guys recently had Mercury retrograde and now it's finally out of shadow, so it could just be one of those things where there's going to be this natural momentum. Like I said, Jupiter moving through your sign. At the time recording this, is not there just yet, but it will be in a few days and then all throughout June and beyond. So hope it resonated for you guys. Once again, happy birthday, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.